Hey, remember this story about Stanford swimmer Brock Turner, who raped an unconscious girl on campus and then received a 6-month jail sentence after being convicted of rape? Prosecutors asked for 6 years in state prison. He's already almost out. He's scheduled to be released Friday from jail in Northern California. And California lawmakers yesterday passed a new law closing what they describe as a loophole that allowed this sentence. The bill now goes to Democratic Governor Jerry Brown. He hasn't said he is going to veto it. He hasn't said yet he is going to sign it. And what this basically does, and we've talked about this in other contexts, is establish certain mandatory minimum sentences for rape convictions. I have mixed feelings about this, big picture, but not mixed feelings about the problem we're having with light sentences on rape convictions. When we talk about mandatory minimums, we often talk about mandatory minimums for nonviolent drug offenders. And in the context of the war on drugs, mandatory minimums have been a disaster. I mean, terrible. They are putting nonviolent drug offenders who should not even be, what they are doing should not even be criminalized, but that's a different story. They are putting them in prisons because there are laws that say the judge cannot execute judicial discretion in many of these cases. The counterpoint, though, is that we've seen many sex offenders, rapists, sexual assaulters convicted and given laughably light sentences when there are no mandatory minimums. And then white-collar crime seems to be in the middle, where we've seen outrageously long sentences for some white-collar crimes, up to and including life sentences, but then at the same time, other white-collar criminals given very, very light sentences. So I'm conflicted about this, Jason, because of the toxic nature, in many cases, of these mandatory minimums.
Do you feel that the judge dropped, or the jury actually dropped the ball here in letting this slide, though? He should have been thrown in jail for more than 6 months, right?
It wasn't up to the jury. I mean, again, the jury came back with a guilty verdict. The prosecutors requested 6 years, and the judge, using his discretion, decided we are going to go with 6 months here.
There had to be some backdoor money or something, just some corrupt politics going. And another thing I heard the university drop the ball here as well. In the coming year, they're not allowing any hard alcohol on campus. They're almost like excusing this, saying this is an alcohol problem. This is not this individual's problem.
And even saying, beer is absolutely fine, but the hard alcohol, and I get it. There are establishments, business establishments, that also say, hey, we do beer and wine. We don't do hard alcohol because we find that it just keeps the crowd more under control. I totally get that. But at some point, we have to talk about the responsibility of the perpetrator as well. And starting to draw a line between what types of alcohol are allowed definitely starts to get into the realm of the sort of gray area as to who or what exactly is being blamed. So mandatory minimums, systemically very disturbing to me in terms of how they're used. At the same time, we do need to prevent these violent sexual offenders from getting 6 months and then also being able to get out early for good behavior. Tell me your thoughts on this. On which side are you falling?